It was doing the trick for me. Consistently taking 1 to 2 cold showers a day. And I noticed improvements in my attitude, my mood, my sleep started improving. And I got hooked.
What's up, guys? Dave Moss Jr. from the DMJR Podcast. And here I have a special guest. I'm super stoked. This is Wyatt Ewing. Wyatt is the founder and creator of Ice Barrel. So we're going to do this whole podcast while taking an ice bath. Wyatt, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm stoked to be here. This is the second time I've done a podcast in an ice barrel.
For real?
For real.
How long was the first one?
The first one was about 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
The water, it was snowing outside and the water was extremely cold. So
that sounds cold, and
yeah.
It would be that sounds like a short podcast,
it
but
was pretty short.
Yeah. Well, the water's cold here. We're here in Ohio. This is exciting, man. So to give you a little context to this show, I've been visiting Wyatt and the Ice Barrel team, the Ice Barrel factory and headquarters here for the past 2.5 days. There's a hurricane raging through Florida, so I'm stuck here with you, and we figured we'd shoot a little podcast.
That's right. Yeah. Excited to be here.
Me too, man. So Wyatt, I wanted to go ahead and just kind of get started and ask, why ice baths? What started this?
Yeah, so I started practicing cold therapy in late 2017, and I was originally using cold therapy as a way to manage stress, manage anxiety, and I started like most people just in a cold shower, and it was doing the trick for me. I was consistently taking 1 to 2 cold showers a day. And I noticed improvements in my attitude, my mood, my sleep started improving, and I got hooked.
Absolutely, man. I can relate. I can relate. It's one of those things, like, everyone talks about the benefits of ice baths and cold showers, but so few people actually try it.
Yeah,
so
totally.
quick encouragement. If you've never tried it, take a shower tonight or this morning and turn that water as cold as you can for, what would you start with?
Man, if you can turn it cold for 30 seconds. Just do something that's comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time, and just listen to your body. And when you need to warm up, turn it warm again, and then turn it back cold, and just keep playing with that till you build up a little bit of a tolerance to the cold.
Absolutely, man. So I want to start at the current, work our way back, and then jump into the future, if you don't mind. So for the past couple of nights, me and you have both been enjoying the incredible benefits of contrast therapy at night. And we started talking about the benefits of contrast therapy and what you feel. What would you say are the immediate benefits of contrast therapy, which is going from hot to cold to hot to cold to hot to cold?
Yeah, absolutely. So initially, you're going to feel a reduction in inflammation and pain in the body. It's great for circulation. We're doing contrast therapy at night,
yeah.
And so we're setting ourselves up for an incredible night's rest.
Absolutely.
And it also releases amazing beta endorphins and hormones that make you feel really good.
Feel really good. So we were doing the sauna at about 190.
Yeah, about 190.
And we put a little water on the rocks, made it steamy there at the end.
Yes.
But we were doing, 15 to 20 minutes in the sauna. And then we would hit the ice bath, and we were in here for about 5
to 6 minutes.
5 to 6 minutes, which for me is a longer ice bath. Usually I'm at 44 degrees for 3 minutes. That's kind of my everyday, multiple times a day sweet spot.
Yeah, that makes sense. When you're doing contrast therapy, you're heating your internal temperature up. That extra minute or two in the barrel is relieving. You start craving the ice once you get
we were
in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Once we got into like our third session, we were both looking at each other like, all right, you ready? Let's go jump in the ice. That's awesome, man. So contrast therapy has been something. And would you recommend doing contrast therapy at night or anytime?
Yeah, so my routine is in the evenings. It's a great way for my wife and I to kind of like wind down, get the kids in bed, just spend some quality time together in the sauna and taking ice baths right next to each other.
It is cool.
So I like it in the evening just for what it does for just a giant reset. End of the day, setting ourselves up for a good night rest. But the other time on the weekends, I like to get up early when I can and come out here before the kids even wake up and do a couple rounds in the morning. Like on the weekends, it's so quiet, chill, a great way just to like kick off a weekend.
Absolutely. Hey, my friends, I did want to interrupt real quick and just say, if you want to get yourself an Ice Barrel 400, which is what we're in, or an Ice Barrel 300, visit the link in the description below. Use discount code MAUS, that's MAUS, and it'll save you $150. Now let's get back to the show. Absolutely. It was beautiful out here. It's super serene. At night, there's like no lights anywhere. You can see every star in the sky. And it's definitely like, I felt more relaxed every night after contrast therapy here than really ever before.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of setting up environments and creating spaces and environments where you can be the best version of yourself, whether that's in a creative space or a peaceful, serene space. And so this whole area that we developed out here was all around how can we like disconnect and just like connect to nature, relax, unwind. So yeah, I love the environment out here.
I feel like when I'm out here, I'm totally disconnected and feeling extremely, extremely relaxed. So I want to ask a few questions about taking ice baths at home, taking ice baths in general. A lot of people you see, big influencers are jumping into like ice, where it's ice. They're chipping ice out to get in, and I'm talking like 30-degree water.
Yeah.
That's not necessary, is it?
No, it's a little extreme. Still benefits to be had, but you're getting 90% of the benefits of cold therapy under 60 degrees.
Right.
So like a great starting point if you're new to cold therapy is somewhere between 50 and 60 degrees. Again, as you build up a tolerance, start adding a little bit more ice. But just getting your body in pre-60 degree water is great.
Yeah, I feel like, and that's what we're sitting in right now is pre-60 degree water. So this is going to be a good session for us.
It's going to be good. We're going to be here for a little while. The thing I like to talk about is if depending on what your goals are with cold therapy, depending on the reasons why you're doing it, but if you're doing like high cardio workouts, long distance, running, triathlons, you actually want to soak longer in cold water at a little bit higher temperatures. You don't want to get down in the 40s. Anything above 50 degrees for 12, 15 minutes can be great. Whereas if you're lifting heavy or you're using it for mental health benefits, things like that, it's great to get the water a little bit colder and do shorter duration in the barrel.
That's a great idea. I see a lot of MMA fighters do longer plunges, like 6 to 10 minutes. They're talking about the benefits of it and how it feels, how it helps them recover. It kind of fuels energy too. And I've seen a lot more people, including myself. I've been doing cold plunging before working out now. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's great. It gives you that extra boost to get the weight up. And it was super interesting. There was a study done where they took a bunch of runners and they put them through cold therapy before their run. And they all had improvements in their times. And then they took that same group of people and had them run without cold therapy beforehand, and it was like significant difference. So there are a lot of benefits to getting cold before you start working out. And now we're also seeing different studios pop up where they're taking the ambient air temperature and driving it really, really low, and people are working out in cold temperatures.
That's a pretty cool idea. I never really thought of that. So we've talked about some of the benefits of cold plunging, some of the good protocols for it. I want to know the journey of Ice Barrel. I've learned a little bit. I've learned a lot, and this has been such a valuable trip for me. I mean, I've always loved Ice Barrel, but now I really love Ice Barrel. Hearing your story and the journey to creating these and the new products that are coming out, which is super cool. The 300 insulated, it's exciting, man. So take us through the journey of Ice Barrel. How did it start?
Man, so we started out of a garage with a prototype made out of wood that we crafted, and you'll hear the peacocks in the background.
I hear them.
So we made this really cool prototype made out of white oak that we made specifically for ice baths. We didn't just like cut the head off the top of a barrel. Like we actually crafted this thing from scratch and made it in a way that it wouldn't leak, that the staves were secured properly. It was a very complicated and expensive process. But we started out with a wood barrel that weighed like 150 pounds. It was very heavy.
I got to play with it in the factory. It was so heavy.
Yeah, extremely heavy. And I started taking that around to all these fitness centers, CrossFit gyms, races locally in southern Denver, just giving free ice baths out to people.
What was the response?
It wasn't positive. It took a little while for it to catch on. At that time, nobody was really practicing cold therapy, and everyone thought it was just for like NFL athletes, right? After a game. But
that's what I thought.
Out there, like, I was just like toting the benefits of cold therapy, trying to get people to take an ice bath with me, like right next to me. I'd take 2 barrels out and jump in one to show people that it's doable. And it was wild. I mean, talk about like getting shut down and hearing a lot of no's. Like people were not interested.
Man.
And I remember the very first event, there was this CrossFit gym that reached out and they were like, hey, we would love to have some ice baths here. And I loaded it up, got about 500 pounds of ice, and we gave out ice baths. It was our first event ever in a gym called Modig in Denver. It was
Nice.
so cool. And man, I knew in that moment, I was like, people are going to love this. I just need a few years yet. And then it just started growing from there, and we just continued to innovate the product and moved out here to Ohio, where we could produce these ice barrels right here, which are made from 100% recycled material, all made here in the U.S. And so we started innovating this product, really wanting to create something that you could fit most body types into, had a compact shape so it could go into apartment complexes, while keeping the body in the upright position, which is a very comfortable position to take an ice bath in.
I agree.
Because your body goes into this fight or flight response, and your spine is straight, just like in nature. When an animal goes into the fight or flight response, they don't go lie down and lie back, right? They stay upright. They're engaged. So I wanted to create the most comfortable position in an uncomfortable environment. And we just kept working on some of these principles around product innovation. And we recently released the Ice Barrel 300, which has a lot of the same concepts around the upright position. And that product is just really well received from the cold therapy community.
Yeah, I would say so. So did it meet or exceed your expectations of how that product would do from launch?
Yeah, honestly, I was terrified. We worked many years on this product, and we went through a lot of different prototypes and innovation, and I was terrified. I remember when launch day came, I was like, I'm nervous. I was concerned, just not knowing what people would think of it, and completely exceeded my expectations. And the response has been absolutely amazing.
It's been crazy. So I've spent a few days at the headquarters where all the products get shipped out from, helping package up the product, and to see how many 300s, and the 400s are selling amazing too, but the 300s, it's like the whole floor was 300s.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's we sold way more than we had anticipated selling.
Yeah, that's a good problem.
Yeah, the guys have been working really hard. Go easy on them. They're working really hard to get these shipped out. And yeah, they've been doing a great job, and it was great to see you out there helping them.
Oh, I loved it, man. So I'm a big culture guy, and I can sense that your company is a big culture company. Like the people that I've met, everyone I've talked to has been incredible human beings, really dedicated to their work, really love what they do, really love working for you and the mission behind Ice Barrel. So kudos to that.
Thank you.
No comments needed unless you wanted to say something there, but I just wanted to let you know I see that, and I respect that big time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's an area of the business that we value very much, and I credit the success of Ice Barrel to the team around us. And we've worked really hard on creating a company and a culture that is very aligned to our core values and our mission and vision.
Absolutely, man. And it shows. It shows all around, even on the social media. Like, you're one of those social media pages that I don't have to worry if my kids start scrolling through Ice Barrel's social media, because it's family friendly. Your company seems very family friendly. Your barrels and your products are family friendly. My kids love getting in the cold, and my wife loves the 400. It's her favorite barrel. Like I get that set up for her, and she likes it a little bit warmer. She likes it just under 60. She's working her way down, but it's just a very comfortable product for everybody from all walks of life to start to experience that cold therapy and ice baths. So I love it. I wanted to ask you, speaking of innovation and product, I've learned a ton about your Stabilize. I want to hear the story there.
Yeah, so the water stabilizer is one of my favorite products that we offer. Again, we worked very hard to find and bring the right product to market here. This product was originally designed and engineered out of Germany, and it was made to clean wells in South Africa. And
like drinking wells?
Yeah, like drinking wells.
Wow.
Now, I don't recommend drinking water stabilizer by any stretch.
Yeah, don't do that.
But with that being said, they found that this product performs really well in hot water as well as really cold water. So we did extensive testing on this formula, and it's incredible. There's this idea of sanitizing water and filtering water. You can filter gross, dirty, unsanitized water all day. True. Right? And so there's almost a step before filtering. It's how do I sanitize it, and how do we create something that's non-toxic and going to be gentle on the skin.
For sure.
And so we worked hard, and we worked on this formula, and we're really proud of where we've brought it. The water stabilizer helps treat, condition the water, and keeps it clean. My wife and I use these barrels here, and we're changing the water every 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow. And the water's crystal clear.
Yeah, and we're just using the stabilizer.
That's amazing.
No other additives.
And you prefer the ice bath for now, right? Like you enjoy taking an actual ice bath. Like I noticed that you don't have a chiller hooked up to these, and we've been putting ice in from the ice blocks, which is another really cool innovative product that I'd love to hear more about. But using ice and using Stabilize, like you're able to keep this water crystal clear for 4 to 6 weeks. It's impressive.
Yeah, there's no filtration system hooked up to these barrels. I love the traditional ice bath. I mean, that's where I started as well. Like when I started taking ice baths, I was just adding ice like most people. And I think there's something psychologically different between getting in just cold water and getting in water with ice.
With ice all in it?
And so I've always liked the traditional ice bath. I'm game for water chillers. We've tested a lot of them. We're excited to be bringing one to market in the near future.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, super exciting. But also, like, I'll probably always just be like a traditional ice bath kind of guy.
Yeah?
I love our ice block molds. I mean, I have a chest freezer right out here. I'll make about 10 ice block molds, and it does a great job getting the water down to a good temperature. And yeah, we're good to go.
It does, man. We put 7 in the 300 the other night, and that was cool.
Yeah, it's still freezing cold.
Freezing, and that's why we're in these.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
this is cold. I'm starting to shiver a little bit, but
we've done about 3 ice baths a day.
Yeah, we've been going hard. We've definitely been going hard. So Stabilize, the ice block molds are amazing, and what I love that you did there is it's silicone. It's got wire inside. It's got steel inside, so it was able to keep its form. I experimented with plastic tubs, like the little cheap plastic tubs, when I first started ice baths, and I put them in the freezer and they cracked.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's happened to other people. Was that part of why you went the route you went with the silicone?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be able to create a large block of ice because it melts a lot slower than crushed ice.
Exactly.
And the ice block molds, you can fit 5 to 10 in like an average size freezer, and they do stack. Now there's a little trick to stacking them. You gotta stack them like Lincoln logs. You don't stack them like in each other because that'll blow the water out. But you just stack them like Lincoln logs. And
I never even thought of that.
Yeah, and then you create more space. Now if you have one of those really small chest freezers, you can put like 30, 40 of them in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, wanted something that silicone obviously expands, but it has these ribs and it also has steel inside of it to keep it reinforced. And yeah, they do great.
It's super, and it's really easy to take the ice out.
Yeah, I recommend just dipping the whole silicone mold in the barrel, let a little water get around the edge, and then you can just grab it and pop it right out.
Yeah, works awesome, man. Super cool. So we've talked about ice baths, the benefits of ice baths. We've talked about some of the product. What's the future look like?
Man, we're just we're so tuned in as a team to the cold therapy community, and we love to innovate and design products around what the community is asking for. So we're excited about the future of innovation here at Ice Barrel. We're excited about the community that we're supporting and bringing all of those people together. There's an element of suffering, right, when you're taking an ice bath.
Yep, we're feeling it right now, I'm sure.
Exactly. And people love to suffer together. Like, if we're going to suffer, let's do it together. So we love supporting the community, bringing people together around cold therapy. And yeah, just super excited.
I love it, man. Well, I'm super excited too. Wyatt, thank you so much for this trip, for being out here, man. This has been like mind-blowing to me. Just to learn more about Ice Barrel, my respect level and love for Ice Barrel has only grown. And thank you for going on my podcast with me. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Man, hey, I'm just a huge advocate for the benefits of cold therapy and what it's doing for so many people's lives. So highly encourage people to go look at our Instagram. Those are real people and real stories on there.
Yeah.
And I'm just so excited about the impact that we're making.
I'm stoked too, and the future looks super bright. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this podcast. Please make sure to subscribe, tune in for the next show, and we will see you later. Have a great day, and God bless. Dude, we did it.
That's fun.
I hope we were recording.
How cold are you?
So cold. I was shivering. There was a part in there. There was a part in there where I'm like, I'm glad you're talking because I don't know if I could say a lot.